Welcome to this special playoff edition of the Conversations on the Coop. Hello everyone, I'm Drew Galbraith, Trinity's Director of Athletics. It's my pleasure to be joined today by the head coach of Trinity Women's Basketball, Emily Garner, head coach of Trinity Men's Basketball, James Cosgrove, and we're now just a few hours away from the start of postseason with the NESCAC quarterfinals on Saturday here at Trinity in Oosting Gymnasium. The women finishing 18-6 in the regular season with an 8-2 mark in NESCAC play. The men 23-1 overall and 9-1 in NESCAC play. So as both of you head into postseason, talk a little bit after a successful regular season, how that mindset shifts ever so slightly as you go into postseason play, and obviously NESCAC tournament, and then hopefully for both of you an NCAA tournament as well. Emily?
Sure. I think when you're going into this, it's kind of a new season. We talk about it kind of in the concept of 3 different seasons. You have your non-conference schedule, your regular season conference schedule, and then going into playoffs, it's a whole new time. So we kind of wipe the slate in terms of what's happened earlier in the year, reset mentally, re-prepare, and I think really look at it as a 1-game season. So focus in on Saturday's game, make sure we prepare accordingly, and don't look anything beyond Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it very well as far as especially a one game season now. Everything is, coming to a Saturday, and we need to play well. We need to prepare well this week, and I think that's important for us to be playing well this time of the year.
So, for both of you, as you head in the NESCAC tournament, the number one thing with NESCAC tournaments is getting that home game in the quarterfinals. And it's, top 4 teams get it. How much of a difference does that make for your group, Emily, to be home in Oosting Gymnasium as opposed to having to go on the road?
I think it's awesome. It's such a great advantage to be at home, be in a space where we get to be in the gym and play in the gym. We practice in every single day, and I think it's especially great this year with a doubleheader. I think it's something that we really value our relationship with the men's team, and so to be able to be in a space where we're competing and hosting both games this year it's awesome, and there's a lot of excitement on both sides, and so we're really excited about the fact that we get to be on our home court again. Be in a space where we're hopefully competing to move forward, but playing in front of a home crowd and being back on our home court.
Because this is the first time ever we've actually had the doubleheader of both teams being home in the quarterfinal round. So talk about that a little bit and how much that means to you.
Yeah, I just think it's great for the campus. I think it's great for the community. I think the students are, I think there's a buzz on campus with both games playing this weekend and both teams playing, and I think we're real excited about that, and should be a great day in Oosting Gym for sure.
So when you talk to your players, our students are extraordinarily well informed these days. Both of them probably look at some of the same sites we all do and understand that Cos, your team's been highly nationally ranked all year and is projected in every bracket service, and Emily, your team as well in all these mock brackets is placing your team in the NCAA tournament. So how do you create a sense of urgency in the NESCAC tournament when your students know that it might not be the last chance, one and done, but you obviously want to start winning postseason games and winning those crunch time things? So how do you help your students kind of get over that hurdle?
Sure, I think our mentalities leave nothing to chance. We talk about blocking out the noise a lot. I think there's a lot of data out there. I think it's awesome. There's a lot of both men's hoops, women's hoops that get promoted. But I think what we talk about is just focusing on one game at a time. Nothing is guaranteed. And so we want to be in a space where we are putting ourselves in the best position, and we want to, compete for NESCACs first. That's what's most important right now. So we try to be as present as we can be, focus in on the moment, be where your feet are. And then if we do get the opportunity to compete in that space, it would be incredible. But we also know we want to put ourselves in the best position by competing hard and focusing in on NESCACs.
Yeah, and our guys have really done a great job of, every day is an important day. And, today's practice is very important. Tomorrow's practice is very important. And the Saturday game is the most important game of the season. Whether it's the championship, whether it's the NCAAs, whether it's a regular season game, our guys have been very, very good about the here and the now, and we're coming prepared every day to get better each day. And Saturday's obviously a big game, but it's another game for us where it's the biggest game of the season because it's the next game.
You both have really strong cultures in your program, and there's just a lot of great collective effort that goes into doing what you do to be successful. So maybe keep your coaching hat on, but think about another program. So Emily, talk a little bit about what you see. What's maybe one thing you see in Cos's team that really sticks out to you, and then Cos, same thing for you about Emily?
I think they're hungry. I mean, their guys are always in the gym. They work so incredibly hard. I think it's awesome because there's a really special bond between the men's and women's teams. We share a facility, but we're also, each other's biggest supporters and biggest fans. When the coaches walk in the locker room after a game, one of the first things we're asking is, did the guys win? And our players know. They're checking their phones immediately. So we have so much respect for them. They work so incredibly hard, and I think they're really tight as a culture. And I think it's something that they seem to really celebrate one another. They want to be successful as a unit, and I think that's so incredibly important in terms of their success this year.
Yeah, and I think our two teams, they really have a great relationship between the teams, and I think that's tremendous. I mean, I'll come in the gym and we're getting ready for practice, and I'll be, the women will still be hanging out, or some of the girls will be in there shooting, and our guys will be coming in and they're like hanging out, talking, and it's like, okay, that's great, I love it. We got practice now, so let's go. But it's really great to see. They genuinely care about each other, and I really think both programs really care about the other program and want the other program to do well. And I'm fortunate where I have a daughter in high school, and I think she really looks up to these kids, and they're great role models for her as people and as players. So it's really neat to see, and I have so much respect for the job Emily does and the program that she runs, and it's very, very, very nice to see it on a day-to-day basis, and it's great to have the working relationship that we have. That's, I think, is important, and it's you don't have that everywhere. It's kind of neat to have.
All right, so second time around for these opponents. Both of you have coached in leagues before. We play a double round robin. NESCAC's a single round robin. It's a really interesting, intense cycle through. Now you get that second chance. So Emily, you played Colby here earlier in the season and had a victory. Without getting into the game plan, how much of it for you as a coach do you go back to those things that worked really well in the first meeting, and how much do you spend time kind of fixing the things that maybe didn't go as planned?
Sure. I think it's a little bit of both. I think we very much feel like they're a much better team than when we played them earlier, but we also feel like we've improved and gotten a lot better in spaces that we needed to. I think as coaches, we're always trying to learn and grow. And so we're trying to take what was successful in those moments and make sure that we continue to do those things. But I think we're also learning a lot. I think the space of growth for us between mid-January when we played them and now, I think our team has grown a lot. So we're certainly looking back. I mean, we've watched a lot of film, as I know the men have too, and it's one of the best teachers out there. But I think we're in a space where we feel like we're preparing in the best way possible for our team, and just want to make sure we learn from some of those things that we didn't necessarily do the best the first time we played them.
Kind of same thing for you. You played at Wesleyan first go around, winning an overtime game, the only time your team's been taken to overtime this year. So, how much of it is focusing on that, or just shoring up the game plan you had from before?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we learned a lot in the game. I think it helped us actually, the overtime game at Wesleyan for the rest of the season. I think that it'll help us now preparing and getting ready for them for a second time. So I think that's definitely, it's I can't say it's an advantage because they have this, that same opportunity. But I really enjoy the fact of studying the tape that we've seen of our game with them and trying to tweak some things and some things that'll help us for the next game for sure.
And last thing, so Emily, you've got the late slot. So what's your 3 hours before, 2.5 hours before a game? Will you catch a few minutes of the men's game?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, we've talked to our players about it already, and I think our mentality is, when their game is over, we're absolutely flipping into our mindset of game day, and it will be that kind of focus all day. But it's an opportunity for us to support the guys live. I think we only had one other opportunity this year to really do that. Like Cos mentioned earlier, we get to have a really great working relationship. I respect their program so much. I respect what our guys do so much, and we're excited to be there in person and cheer them on. And so, yeah, absolutely, we'll be there for as much of the game as we can possibly catch, and I fully expect our players to be loud and ready to cheer them on and support them throughout the course of the game.
Guys, what about you? Is that almost mandatory viewing after you guys finish up?
Yeah, and I think we haven't had as many opportunities this year because of the NESCAC schedule and whatnot. But I think our guys really thoroughly enjoy watching our women's team play. So I know they'll all be there after the game, rooting them on, and hopefully we'll have 2 W's on Saturday for sure.
So that's Saturday afternoon, men's basketball versus Wesleyan in the quarterfinals at 2 p.m., women's basketball versus Colby at 4:30 p.m., all part of a busy Bantam Sports weekend. For all the latest news, scores, and schedules, go to bantamsports.com. Follow us at Bantam Sports. Until next time.